Earlier I told you I was a member of 2 study groups. The first one is the diversity group. Now the second study group I belong to is slightly larger. At the last count, I believe we had 40,000 in the study group. We meet twice a year and we have access to a huge database of information, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. It's the world's largest, most successful and prestigious study group for financial advisors. My second group goes by the name MDRT. Maybe you've heard of it. All MDRT members worldwide take great pride in their willingness to help each other. We help each other through podcasts, seminars, focus sessions. The list goes on. I can guarantee you, if we have an issue that concerns us, or simply want a sales tool that'll help us sell more life cover, for example, there is somebody to help us. Somebody to show us tried and tested methods that genuinely work. I have access every day to the greatest prospectors, multi-million-dollar producers, cutting-edge technology, and compliance specialists. Everything that I've told you so far is available without ever leaving your office. And I take great joy in sharing my ideas and ideas I've picked up from anyone who wants to listen. So in essence, that's MDRT, a fabulous resource of like-minded people doing exactly the same as we do, but to different levels of business, helping each other become the best that we could be by ourselves. So before we turn to ourselves again this year and say, it's tough out there, things aren't going well, I don't know where the next client is coming from, then let's ask ourselves, have we done anything different to help ourselves? Remember the saying, if we keep doing things exactly the same, our results will be exactly the same. We've heard some fantastic speakers here today, all helping you with the MDRT ethos. Take ideas, bring them with you, and implement them. I joined my second study group, MDRT, in 2008, and I have been a member ever since. As I've increased my skills, my business prospered, and I was lucky enough to upgrade my membership to the prestigious top of the table level. So this is a level that remains my goal on an ongoing basis, so that I can keep upskilling. Now, there's no way I could have achieved what I've achieved so far if it wasn't for the ideas and practice management and friendships that I've made through MDRT. MDRT raises me up to new levels of achievement on a daily basis, and this has allowed me to go global. Now, I mentioned earlier about my story and the number 143. I'm telling you this story today for the first time ever in public, so I hope you'll bear with me. The number 143 is one of the most powerful numbers in the world. And those of you in this room who know its secret are touched forever. But I'm going to share it with you today. My grandparents on my mother's side were born within 3 months of each other, in 1912 and 1918 respectively, 3 years of each other. They both died in 1995, within 3 months of each other. They were deeply religious and they loved each other very much. Every time they wrote to each other or signed any card, they finished with the number 143. About 3 months after they died, I visited their grave for the first time. And parked outside the graveyard was one car, and one car only. The number plate on the car only had 3 numbers. 143. I automatically knew everything was okay, and my grandparents were watching me and looking after me. 2 years later, in 1997, I was working in Scotland as a retail manager when I applied to the Prudential Assurance Company as a trainee financial advisor. Now, I got the job and I was due to start that September. I had the feeling that this was going to be a great career choice. 2 weeks before I was due to start, I received the devastating news that my 47-year-old mother had suffered a brain hemorrhage and she was on life support. She battled for 3 months, and following surgery, she eventually made it through. But on the day I was supposed to start my new career, I was with my family, waiting for my mother's eyes to wake up after surgery. Now, as she opened her eyes, her heart monitor went off. Beep, 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 beep. My mother had taken her heart monitor off her finger by mistake. Her last heart rate reading was displayed. 143. Even though I had missed my new career, I somehow knew that it was for a reason. In 1999, I was now working in Ireland, still in retail management. The life assurance profession I'd missed. One of my friends organised an interview with me with a bank. It was to apply as a financial planner, a tied agent like all of you in this room, of the Arc Life Assurance Company. This time I was really nervous because I had heard that only 1 in 10 was selected. My hands and legs were shaking. I checked into the hotel and I asked where the interview was being held. I was told to walk down the corridor and wait to be called to my interview room, which was being held in room 143. My nerves disappeared. I knew that anything was possible, and maybe I was about to achieve a seemingly impossible dream. I got the job. In 2001, I was approached by Canada Life Assurance to work for them. Now, I was unsure whether I should move. And as I drove to meet the manager for the interview, I nearly crashed my car into a very large lorry on a very bad bend. All I remember is how close I came to crashing and the number on the front of the lorry. 143. I got the job. In 2007, I was now establishing myself in a tied agency with Irish Life. My wife Caroline had joined me, and we were forming an incredible team. It was then that I heard Jim Rogers speak at the MDRT conference in February. He talked about how MDRT made a difference to him. I knew I had enough business to qualify, but I was still unsure. That night, I went home and I checked on my figures for 2007, as I keep a detail of every sale I make, and I hope all of you do the same. Was I going to spend $4,000 on a flight, accommodation and food plus registration to go on a trip to Toronto? I didn't think so, but my curiosity made me check. I scrolled down my Excel sheet under sales and looked at the total at the bottom. I had made 143 sales in 2007. That night, I booked MDRT and I was on my way to Toronto. My first MDRT made such an impression on me that I vowed never to miss another. I looked and heard those main platform speakers, and that week I created an impossible dream for myself. To maybe one day speak and share my ideas at an MDRT meeting within the next 10 years, and also to write a book. In 2010, it started when I was invited to speak at MDRT UK Day. In 2012, I spoke at my first focus session in Anaheim, California. And in 2014, my impossible dream became a reality when I went global on the MDRT experience in this fabulous country, Malaysia. Some of you I know are there. I also launched my book, The Advisor's Advisor. And it's outside, I think. It's on one of the insurance tables out there for you. And now, in 2015, I've been a member of MDRT for 8 years, of which 2015 is my 3rd TOT. Thank you. And I have 4 COT. So, dreams that seem impossible can and do come true. The number 143 has appeared to me at crucial times in my life, many, many, many more times than I've said in this speech today. And it's always made me believe in myself and told me that anything is possible. Any dream is achievable if you work hard and get a little bit of luck along the way. 4 years ago, I stood on the scales and I saw this number. Now, the doctor wasn't very happy. I wasn't very happy. I weighed at the doctor's medical and it showed 143 kilos. I knew that this was the motivation I needed. This is me in February 2013. This is me in September 2013. Now, I have put a little bit back on since then. But it shows you that anything and everything is possible. So, back to 143. I'm sure some of you already know its meaning. Believe me, once you know its meaning, this number will appear to every single one of you from this day on. Trust me, you will see it continuously. You'll see it on the television. You'll see it on the street. You'll see it on cars, on paperwork, absolutely everywhere. Why? Because 143 means I love you. My grandparents let me in on this secret. The secret to knowing that everything will be okay. Anything is possible, and somebody somewhere is looking out for you and loves you very much. If you believe you can achieve something, it will happen. So I want to finish by reciting a poem. I think this poem describes us very well as financial advisors, and I hope you like it. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, and to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right, without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know, if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star. Thank you. We all need impossible dreams to achieve. We cope with adversity and heartache as well as great joy and success. But most of all, every single one of us in this room changes people's lives. And because of what we do, I will never forget the importance of it. What we do, and I will always fight to impart our wisdom on our friends, our relatives, prospects, clients. What a marvelous profession we are involved in. Improving our own skills impacts on us, our clients, their children, and their grandchildren. I believe that sharing our ideas through study groups and organizations like MDRT will make us all better advisors and better people. We are in the right place, at the right time. So let's raise ourselves up to new heights. Let's go global. The place is Kuala Lumpur. The study group is MDRT. And our time is now. So let's all achieve our impossible dream.